Welcome to Father and Son, except Son's not here today. He's a bit busy doing something or other. Well, I watched the Grand Prix last weekend, and I have to say it's probably one of the best Grand Prix I've watched. I watched it on television. I thought it showed Melbourne off fantastically, and it was a great race. The crowds were at least about 20,000 higher than what they'd expected. So I think it did a lot to reinforce the government's view that it's worth keeping. Now, I did tackle Ted Bailey during the week about the matter we'd raised about the cost-benefit analysis of the Grand Prix, and he told me that that work was completed by an independent accountant last year. So they've had the report, and basically the cost-benefit analysis shows, and he was going from memory, about just under 90 million of benefit and an outlay of 50, 56, might be a bit less this year now that they have better crowds there. So that shows there's a net benefit of 40 million, and I think, judging by my discussion with Mr Bailey, that they want to keep the Grand Prix. Whether you can run it even later and whether you can put lights up, I think it'd be fantastic if you could, because you get better television audiences. So all round, a pretty good result for the Grand Prix. Now, of course, we go into the football season, and what a sad occasion we've just witnessed, the death of Jimmy Stynes. I knew him pretty well and came into the Savage Club one day with my friend John O'Brien for lunch, who's a Melbourne supporter. I spent the whole of the lunchtime trying to get him to move from Melbourne to Carlton. What a champion footballer. He played 246 consecutive games, and those of us that have played football know that is almost an impossibility. So he would have played at times with a lot of injury. Then when he retired from football, he's done such a wonderful job with his Reach Foundation and helping people. He's just quite an astute and outstanding person. And I see the Herald Sun today have given him 4 pages of people telling the world what a great person he is. And I'd just like to add my feelings to that as well. I just think, and when he got hold of the Melbourne Football Club, it was in dire financial mess. And despite the fact that he had, his cancer, he worked tirelessly for the Melbourne Football Club and has got it all back on a proper basis. I'm looking forward to going to his funeral service. I'm glad they're giving him a state funeral next Tuesday at St Paul's Cathedral. It'll be an important event. Anyway, the season starts this week. We've got this wonderful game. Sydney are playing Greater Western Sydney, and I don't know if it'll be worth watching, but it's on. Carlton, troubled a bit by injury, and we've got 3 of our top 6 backmen not playing in the opening game. It means they'll probably have to move Gibbs down back, and several others. We've got to stop the onslaught of the ball getting easily into Rewalt, who kicks goals against Carlton. It's going to be interesting. My long-term tip for the Brownlow is Cruiser. I backed him at 100 to 1. I think it's a very, very good bet. And while I'm still on football, we have a big luncheon up at Giancarlo's, the University Cafe, next Wednesday before the start of the season. $100 a head. Jimmy Buckley's going to be there with me. We're going to give you all the insights into Carlton's chances during this footy season. I've had lunch with Kernahan, so I've had got a bit of inside information there. So if you want to come, you can ring the University Cafe and book. It'll be a good lunch, 60 or 70 people we're hoping, and good afternoon. That's on Wednesday of next week. So much for the footy. On to politics. I'm pleased to see Ted Bailey is moving on brown coal in Victoria. A lot of potential schemes there to dry the coal. If they can dry it, we can actually get it exported. Clearly you would need to set up a port in South Gippsland somewhere, and all that is now being planned, which is very, very good. This could be a major benefit to the Victorian government, because we get very little out of the resources boom, and this could enhance it quite dramatically. It's obviously 5 to 7 or 8 years away. On the federal front, well, we've got a new foreign minister, and he put his foot in it straight away in the first week by creating a lot of unnecessary turmoil in New Guinea by telling them if they didn't hold their election on time, we might put all sorts of problems in their way. What a stupid thing to do. I mean, what he should have done was got on the phone and said, are you going to hold your election on time or not? If not, find out why not. And deal with it on a foreign minister to foreign minister basis. You don't just make public announcements. It's just ridiculous. And it upset, obviously, the people in New Guinea quite a lot. So that's not much else has happened on the federal front. I see Mr. Slipper, who's the head of the Senate, he's the head of the House of Representatives, the Speaker. He turns up to a very important function the military are holding in Canberra in a pair of jeans. What sort of a guy is this fellow, really? Not good enough at all. That's about all I've got this week. Markets are not great, but everybody's going to feel a lot better once the footy gets underway. We'll see you all next week, and we'll be reporting on AFL, as we will every week. And on the website, I'm going to pick my 8 winners for you, so you can do your tipping. Should be on Friday mornings before the first game each week, and also 3 or 4 of the best bets at the races each Saturday. So this is just something additional where hopefully you might be able to make some money. See you next week.